What's up, guys? We are live.
Yeah, baby.
It is Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We're drinking rum. I'm super excited about our show tonight. As you can see, it's very bare behind me in this corner, and that's because we got so many bottles of rum sitting down next to us right now, as we are going to be diving into the world of Planteray. As you may have heard of it, Plantation recently becoming Planteray and embodying one of the greatest rum companies on the planet today. You're getting to hear from Adrienne and talk on that. So we're very excited. That's going to be coming up today at 7:10. We're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
She's going to be joining us.
This is awesome.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be super fun. We're getting started here, so hang on to your shorts for that one. It's going to be super fun. I'm excited. We're going to have.
I don't have any shorts.
We're not only have. Right. This is actually our second episode of Rum Uncorked. We did an original episode last month. This is another one of those where we break into the rum companies from the rum companies themselves, give them a chance to talk about it. You guys get to ask questions. We get into the nitty gritty of it, which is super fun. It's a good hot seat, and they have a lot of fun with it. So we're very excited for that and very grateful for Adrienne, who will be taking the time joining us here shortly to get to do this.
And actually, she's going to be joining us in the Rum Club.
Yes, she is going to be joining us in the Rum Club. So we do have our Rum Club that goes on, and so this month, we actually just picked up the boxes of rum that's going to be going out to all the Rum Club members. So we're going to give you guys a sneak peek into what that looks like too.
My mind. When I saw this, it was like, wow,
it's huge. There's so much rum, so much rum. These rum shipments are going to be massive.
My goodness, and the thing is, she gets it, and Planteray gets it. They understand what we're all looking for. They understand, the different expressions that we're going after. It's like, hey, they make something, and they make something wonderful, and you will find an expression that you will love.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. We're very excited. I have a little bit of a cough going on, so I'm going to do that real quick. I apologize greatly.
It is that time of year.
As you guys know, last week I missed. I'm so sorry. I missed you guys a ton. I was down for the count. I was not making it. You guys did not want to see me on the screen last week. It would have been ugly. It would have been unfortunate for all of you. I'm super glad to be back, though.
Glad you stayed home.
I'm feeling pretty strong.
I'm glad you're doing better.
Me too. I just have this trickling cough. I'm hoping the rum will just destroy it. Like I'm hoping that's where we get to here tonight. But I want to get some of the housekeeping out of the way.
All right.
We talked a little bit about the Rum Club that Adrienne's going to be joining us in. You guys can check out that link down below there. We have that link there for you to be able to join. We got some spots still available for you guys to be able to jump in there, take advantage of that before these kits go out. With that, we're very excited with the Rumless Rum Club. If you're not in a participating area, you can still come for the price of a Starbucks cup of coffee. Come hang out, hear from the distillers, get to talk to them, ask questions, drink alongside, and
occasionally
apparently still end up with rum, because
somehow or another
that's just how this works.
Those things happen.
We have connections around the world, and we want to connect everyone with as much as possible, so we make it happen. So check that out if that's for you. We would love to have you. I want to get some freaking hellos out of the way, because you beautiful people, I've missed the crap out of you. All right, so let's take a look here. I got a comment down here in the chat. Let's start hitting them here. Phil is here. How you doing?
Hey, Phil.
Carlos,
buddy.
Carlos, I see that you jumped on yesterday when you saw me post this live ahead of time, and you thought it was Wednesday. I just want to personally apologize to you for making you feel like it was Wednesday and letting you down. Quite frankly, I feel like I should have been better about how I presented it to you, so I apologize.
I tell him this every day.
But I'm excited you were here early, if anything. Greg is here. Low Carb Cocktails is his channel. Make sure you guys check that one out as well. Glad to have you here on both channels, Greg. John Molesworth hanging out. We got another Rum Club member there. That's like 3 Rum Club members in a row right there. I love it. This guy's coming in strong today. John Hasbrock from Just Rum is hanging out tonight.
John's here.
How you doing, John?
Awesome.
We're
this guy right here.
We're excited to have you. We love that. Let's see here. We've got my Irish Valentine. Amy's hanging out in the chat tonight.
Amy.
We love that. Our Canadian correspondent, Mark G, hanging out right there. We're glad to have you. Evan is here. Glad to have you here as well, Evan. Scooting down here for some hellos. Oh my gosh, my cough's gonna kill me tonight. Dave the Axeman Hendricks hanging out. Good evening. Evil Genius. Good evening. Oh my gosh. Nice. We got a first-time liver here. All right. I don't know how to pronounce your name. So SSJ4 Fansky line. I'm just going to call you Fansky if that works for you. I like that. I think that's all. Nice, I think that's about as far as I can get out of pronouncing it there. But we're glad to have you. Welcome in. Awesome. If you're new here, make sure you introduce yourself.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
What are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, we love to know where you're out of. Water. You know, even if it's a Dolphin on the Rocks, aka Water and Ice, we love to hear from you guys. This is the best rum community in the world.
Everybody's welcome.
Because everybody's welcome. Every rum community, every person, every rum distiller. We want you guys here to learn, be able to enjoy it. So make sure that you guys introduce yourselves and let us know exactly what you're drinking. That's fine. Fansky. We got it. Got approval. Thank you. Appreciate you. That's awesome. Let's see here. We got some good conversations going on, but I am going to catch up for speed's sake tonight because I know
you got 3 minutes.
I know I got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
So I don't have enough time to kick through everyone. So here's how it's going to roll, guys. Adrienne's going to be joining us. As you guys always do, if you have questions, drop them into the chat. We will gladly relay them over. We're going to be hammering Adrienne with some of our own questions as we go, as well as she's just going to be free talking about some of the cool things going on over there at Planteray.
She's an amazing person.
An amazing person.
She really is.
If you guys have gotten a chance to go to a rum festival, there's a good chance if Planteray was there that you got the chance to meet Adrienne. She is one of the best human beings we've ever come into contact with. She's super smart. She's super fun. She always has so much knowledge to give.
Passionate
about what she does.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. She's got a great background. She's got a great history, and we are super stoked to have
not only
her
that,
here.
We are super lucky to have her here.
We are
with us tonight.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a real good time. Phil, jumping in here. Glad to have you here, Phil. We've got the rum old fashioned with Hamilton. Oh my gosh. Look at him. Look at him go. Phil's just boom. Extra fancy tonight. Let's see here. Fancy's got himself Douglas G.A. Bacardi 4-year-old. Okay, there we go. Nice. We're coming in. I love it. Love the selections. My first question's already teed up from Mark G. Has Planteray ever made anything that isn't great? That's going to be a good one. We're going to ask it.
I like that question.
We're going to ask it. Is there anything bad that's come from there? Yeah. I don't think I've ever found it.
I've never experienced that myself.
So I'm pretty excited about it. So we got 2 minutes before she comes on. Before we get to that point, Royer, what are you drinking tonight?
Can I tell him?
You can tell him. It's a big night.
This is what I have in the glass tonight.
Make that 2.
Right?
That's a double for me.
Yes. This is an amazing product.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out today's review, I believe it's either gone up or going up. But this is one we just recorded tonight. So this review will be coming up here in the coming weeks.
It'll be coming up.
So we're excited for that one. So a little showcase there for what's to come. We're very excited about that.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's going to be good stuff.
Yeah.
Got the Mai Kai.
And we have our selection of
Planteray rums.
Planteray rums
that are all around the bar at the moment.
Going to have this evening.
Yeah.
But I love this one so much.
Yeah, it's so good.
And it's so funny too, because that rum is specifically made really for tiki drinks, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And it's like the best tiki rum.
I'm having it in a very simple rum and Coke.
Yeah. Still amazing. I don't think anybody has done that, by the way. I think we might be the first people to have ever done that. Look what you did. Gosh, I tell you, we can't take you anywhere.
I know.
It's just the camera follows you everywhere, and it's just so much effort.
I know.
All right.
But it just blows my mind. I mean, it's so unusual.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Without further ado, guys, I want to bring Adrienne on over. I know she's hanging out in the waiting room right now. So we're excited to have her. So give me 1 second here. We're going to drop her in, and we're going to get things kicked off.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? How are we doing?
How you guys doing? I'm doing good.
Oh, we are doing fantastic. I tell you what, we miss you every day.
Getting over a cough. That sucks.
Oh my gosh. I know it hit me last week. I ended up, just feeling completely run down, and then it all swooped over into a head cold thing. But I'm on the tail end of it. I just have this trickling cough that won't go away.
I keep telling them the rum is going to help.
Yeah, it is.
Right? A little vitamin rum.
It does help. It is going around, so don't feel bad. I suffer from it. I have too much fun on the road when I'm working, and so sometimes when I get home, I'm like a little bit war torn. So yeah, I get it, but you're on the mend. Just drink higher proof rums. We got you.
See, that's exactly it. I just gotta drink. I just gotta drink higher proof rum. Oh, I love that so much. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm just pulling up some stuff here. Well, yeah.
Adrienne, I gotta tell you, thank you so much for being a part of our rum club. I am so excited.
Yeah,
so excited.
Of course.
So Robert brought over tonight all the rum that you made possible.
Yes, we did pick that up today. It was glorious. Holy cow. That's a lot of rum.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, I know. It is a lot. And we'll talk offline to make sure we can get, all the things to all the people. We'll figure it out because it was a lot of bottles. I was like, I don't know. I got in a mood. I was like, just send it all. Just send it. Because
just send it.
Just send it.
That's one of the things we really appreciate about you. Just send it.
Some of the stuff we don't have locally. So I'm like, well, if I can send it, then I might as well send it. So
yeah, I love that mentality.
I love that attitude.
That's so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Everybody should think like that.
Someone is asking, John is asking which Planteray rum is the best medicine. And that's hard. That's hard to say, but I guess, wait, who's going to be at the aisle for a few days? Where? Which aisle? Barbados? Which one? The best medicine is the one in your glass, I guess. So whatever it is. I mean, I personally, I guess it depends. Sometimes if the cough is hurtful, if it's painful cough, then maybe I want like an XO, something a little softer, a little bit sweeter. But if it's just like decongestion and just like messy, gross, nasty, then I want high proof. I want Navy rum. I want Sailor Strength. I want Jamaican Funk. I want something that'll clear
burn it out of there, right?
The sinuses. Yeah, just burn it out. Exercise the demons. So I guess it depends.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Light it on fire. Cinnamon sticks on fire for sure.
Heck yeah. I love it. So
El Casino Waterloo. I have to look that up. Sorry, this is my first time on this restream. I've never done this before.
No, you're okay. This is
okay.
This is us living in the future of technology. Okay, we're very, very technologically advanced people over here. Roy Air actually runs all of our technology.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That is not
super impressive of him. He's basically an IT guy.
Nope. Yeah, I know how to power it off and power it back on. That's it.
That's amazing.
That's what every IT guy does.
I want to.
Yeah, they're always like turn it off and turn it back on.
Yep, that's right. I mean, you get it, right?
Have you been in that position before? Were you an IT person?
Have you tried turning it off and then turning it back on? They always make you feel so stupid. Like, of course I've tried turning it on and off and on.
But then it works when they tell you to do it.
Yeah, it only works when you're on the call, when you've waited.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Jesus.
I love it. So for you guys out there who are in the chat, who have maybe either never met Adrienne or aren't familiar with her, or Planteray even for that matter, could you tell us a little bit about your role, Adrienne, and a little bit about what you do with Planteray and stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I have been with Maison Ferrand for almost a decade. So it's been a while. So if we haven't met yet, it's going to happen. I just haven't gotten to you yet. But I have been in the rum world for over a decade, maybe 13, 14, I don't know, whenever 3 Dots and a Dash opened. I started my rum world working at 3 Dots and a Dash, opened that bar with Paul McGee. I was like on the opening team. And then when he left to open Lost Lake in Chicago, I followed. And then wanted to just like only do rum for a living. So I started working for a different rum company, Spirit Bomb, who I love, for a couple of years. And then that was technically only part-time. I was still bartending. And then I went full-time with Maison Ferrand. So it's been a while. My role now specifically is just rum. I initially was like full portfolio. We make cognac, we make gin. And I initially was very excited about having access to these other spirit categories. And I still do love everything we make, but I think my home really and my passion is cane spirits first. So that's where I'm at. My role is technically, my title is the Rum Community Liaison. So I'm kind of like the go-between. I work with the distilleries if there's things that change back in Jamaica or Barbados. They let me know what's going on. They try to like send me as the person to help educate our team and our distributors and our friends and family throughout. And then I also just get to do rum events. So it's kind of like whatever. It's wherever, whenever. I'm everywhere. I am technically based in Nashville, but I travel throughout the Americas. So a lot of Nashville, a lot of, well, actually not a lot of Nashville, a lot of US, a little bit Canada. So I'll get out to like Toronto this last fall. They always send me when it's cold. So I was in Fredericton and Alberta in December, right in time for like snowstorms and stuff. Vancouver is always lovely. And I get out there like a couple times a year, and then a lot of Caribbean support as well.
That's
so I'm
awesome.
everywhere.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it. I don't think we've been to a rum festival yet that you haven't been at. So that's always pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm the guaranteed participant. Like if you're like, well, who are we going to see? Who's going to be there? Like there's a pretty good chance. I mean, we have our own distributor partners, obviously, but if there's like a rum event and I happen to have a spot on the calendar, like I go and I'm usually there, sometimes with our distributor partners or with our local representation. But oftentimes it's just me, just like out there, like waving the rum flag for everybody. Like we're here. We have good rum.
So, Adrienne, I do have a couple of questions for you, but first, before I get into that, I do want to say you have an amazing place there in Barbados. Thank you. My wife and I, we toured there, and we spent a little bit of time there at your distillery, literally on the beach, and it was amazing. The food there is incredible.
Honestly, that chef.
It's just amazing. The food is incredible. The drinks, amazing. It's like it's just incredible. So just a wonderful place. And I do want to suggest everyone, if you ever have the opportunity to go to Barbados, definitely go check out Stays Distillery, right? Which is where Planteray is made, correct? Right?
Some of our rums are made in Barbados.
Okay, so Adrienne, we have a common battle here. Okay, so is it referred to as Stays or West Indies Rum Distillery?
So the original name for the distillery was the West Indies Rum Refinery, and that's not a great term. Refinery makes it sound like it's something that needs to be fixed. I think when those terms originated, we're talking about like the late 1800s and like the industrial era, where that was seen as a mark of dignity, where you're like, okay, well, in this piece of history, rum was really struggling. It was after the sugar crisis. We see a lot of producers kind of fold their business. And column still is starting to take hold throughout the Caribbean, for better or for worse. And I think there's good and bad on column still, but it was starting to sweep through the nation, and it was seen as a good thing at the time. It was like, this is a way we can modernize our business. Modernization was really important for the Caribbean at a time when, they were initially kind of scoffed at as being these like agricultural little like old school pockets that the colonizers could like dip from. And so there was this era of like, all right, we're powerhouses. We can like make quality things and we can refine our processes just like anyone else. And so there was this assumption that like refinery as a term meant that it was going to get better, right? Like even the sugars that were sold throughout the Caribbean would get like sold as Muscovado and then like sold into a refinery, a sugar refinery in, Amsterdam or, wherever it landed in Europe. And so like, I think that word kind of had a negative connotation in the 21st century anyway. So we're like, we don't need that word anymore. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. And Barbados and the Caribbean in general, like all of those countries are very much independent in their own right. Like Barbados is an independent nation, and they are making a million beautiful things. It doesn't need to be given some like significant word to claim it. So we're like, it's a distillery. It's a distillery. It makes rum. So instead of refinery.
So help us out here. Is it Stades or is it West Indies?
So it is both. George Stades, we added the name Stades because George Stade is the original founder of the distillery. So it's technically both.
It's called a tie, Royer. It's called a tie.
I'm taking that as a win.
Welcome to kissing your sister. Okay.
Stade. It is Stade.
Yeah. So for folks who don't know, for folks in the chat or who are like familiar with the team but maybe new to this conversation, so we as a company can be a little bit confusing because we have rums from everywhere. We have rums from over 25 different countries that we've bottled, right? But we also have our own production, and so that started with this relationship with the West Indies Distillery. So Stades West Indies Rum Distillery has existed since 1893. And the original founder is George Stade. We used to purchase rum from this distillery. When we first got into the rum business, we were bottlers. We were aging and blending at home. And then we were purchasing rum from a lot of different places. And Barbados, this particular distillery was like a mainstay for us. And so the owners, the previous owner, Goddard Limited, they wanted to sell the distillery, and that included partial ownership of 2 distilleries in Jamaica. We were very, very much excited about the opportunity to even have access to join in this conversation, but it wasn't an easy process. It was like they wanted to make sure that we were there to do the work, to also put in a lot of money to fix up the distillery. So there was some maintenance that needed to be handled right out the gate. And so we wanted to be producers. That was always kind of the dream, but it wasn't an easy process. And so thankfully, because we already had this relationship with this distillery, we knew what they were capable of. We knew all of the access they had in the terms of, and you've seen it now, right? You've seen all the different types of equipment. There's a couple new stills, but a lot of it is the same as it ever was, like a lot of it still is very vintage. So, it's kind of like a meeting of the minds.
You actually brought back online 1 or 2 of the older stills, right?
Well, one of the vintage stills was revived, and so that one is the Rockley, affectionately titled the Rockley. We're not really sure of the heritage of where this still came from, but during the sugar crisis in the late 1800s, and for folks that are like, I don't know, like the nitty gritty of sugar trade and the crash and how Europe started to prioritize beet sugar, and that kind of like devolved the sales incentive for all of the Caribbean. We stopped selling sugar in the amount that we used to. So this is all like technical and history. So we could go there, but I don't want to like labor over all of these points unless people have questions. But all that to say, we had this old still on the lawn, and people that have been to the Caribbean have been to these distilleries throughout, all kinds of distilleries. We don't throw anything away. You'll see this commonly. You'll see pieces of equipment that just live, that like found a home on the lawn in any distillery, and we're not unique in that. The uniqueness is that Alexandre, because he's just that guy, because he's like inexhaustive in what he wants to create, and he loves tinkering, he loves old pot stills and stuff. He's a bit of a historian, so he had the equipment assessed. And so David Pym came from, John Doerr famously, he came to look at the still, and rest in peace, he passed away last fall. But he checked it out and he's like, this still is in working condition. Like you could fire it up if you wanted to. And it dates back to at least 1780. So this is now, since we fired it up, the oldest working copper pot still. I need to make that distinction, not to be confused with the wooden pot stills running in Guyana, which obviously are older. They predate this, but 1780. I mean, that's a still that could have been making rum for George Washington's visit, right? Like George Washington only left the country once, and that was to go to Barbados to visit his brother. And he fell in love with rum. He fell in love with pineapple, and the rest is literally history. But I'm not making the claim. We don't know that rum was, made at the Rockley Still. They call it the Rockley Still. The team actually, so a lot of the staff at the distillery have been around for a long time. We have a member on our staff that's been there for over 40 years, and they've always affectionately called it the Rockley Still. And when we first came in to the island, we're like, well, why do you call it Rockley? Like, there is a beach that's called Rockley Beach. There's like heritage on the island that is Rockley named, but we don't have a direct a paper trail, as you can imagine, like these things get shifted. And so the best we can assume is that because of the generations that we know of people that have worked at the distillery that have called this the Rockley Still, that it may have come from the Rockley estate. We don't know that for sure. It's a small pot still. It's from the island. It just found its way there after a bunch of distilleries kind of closed up shop during the sugar crisis. There's another one. There's another one on the lawn, the Batson's. Batson's bitch is still on the lawn. We probably won't fire that one up. I mean, I don't think it's as thick on the inside to fire up, but never say never. So that was a long roundabout way of explaining a very simple thing. I'm sorry.
I love it. This is the deep dive stuff that I think is super cool. One of the great experiences of getting to hang out with you several times. Yes. And I think people in the Rum Club, when we get that chance to be one-on-one as we go through there, this is just a taste of what to expect. It is so cool to get to hear the history, all of the knowledge that you bring. There is so much cool stuff that you're always talking about. I do want to hit a couple of the questions that I see.
I saw some questions come in.
Yes. So let me jump up here. I found the Planteray Black Cask in Florida. It's really good. It's one of the secret gems of Planteray. I feel like a lot of people don't, even that drink Planteray.
That is this one.
Right? Don't even know about that one.
The Black Cask.
Yes.
Someone
amazing,
mentioned,
by the way.
Evan Barone. Is the Black Cask available in Iowa?
Oh no, definitely not.
No. Okay.
Just checking. Have connections.
Okay. We know how to get it, but no, it's very much not. Let's see here. One of the great things about your guys' place there isn't just the place itself, but the staff that helped Royer find his phone that he lost.
Oh my goodness!
If you've ever been anywhere with Royer, there's an 80% chance he's lost his phone along the way. This has happened on multiple occasions. We've had multiple accounts.
It has.
But luckily, you had a team of hardworking individuals to help you fix this problem. We weren't there to help you.
That was amazing. They were so much help.
I'm glad they could help you. I think like Barbados is a very safe island. People are very friendly. And these things happen. They're used to it. It's a common thing. Like you're on the island and you're having fun, and the last thing you remember is like a phone, which is a great thing. We never, in the US, we're like married to our phones in our hand at all times, and so
it's so funny.
Kind of a blessing in disguise.
It was so funny because I had literally just lost my phone because I wanted to record and take pictures and all this type of stuff.
You're saying?
But I had my boarding pass on there as well, and I was about ready to lose my mind, and your lead person there at the shop, I don't remember her name, and I have it wrote down, but it's not with me. She just came up to me and she says, "Calm down, it will be fine. We will find your phone." And she was so confident. She was so confident. I mean, it just literally drove off in a taxi that I will never see again. Right?
Listen, we can tell stories of you losing your phone all day, every day. Nobody here is going to be surprised by that.
Your staff there, at Stays Distillery,
the West Indies Rum Distillery. I got it.
At Stays is amazing, right?
The crew is you know, I mean, it's a small island. Everybody kind of knows everybody. So, you know, it's not hard to get reconnected. And I appreciate that they could do that for you. I'm not surprised by that, but I am thankful, you know, that the reputation maintains. I did see someone ask about which are the lower sugar rums. I don't know
Yes,
where
that was the next
question
one I was
went.
going to ask. Evan
Who's
asked
Evan?
which expressions have
Oh,
the
yeah,
least
yeah.
amount of sugar.
Yeah, luckily for most of our bottlings, all of our vintages, all of our single casks, and all of our newer bottlings, we are all 100% about transparency. I still think we are the only, I mean, correct me if you've seen this anywhere else. I think we're the only producer that discloses when we do add sugar. So that
Outside of
would,
small craft distillers, I would say yes. You definitely are.
I mean, there are producers that say zero sugar, but there isn't. I don't know of another producer that says like, "Oh, we add this much," you know. Um, and so we do both. We'll disclose when we don't add sugar. We'll disclose when we do add sugar. So that's kind of a surprise element. And I would say that like when we add dosage to our rums on the label to be fully transparent, we also put aging. We put all the things, but the dosage is under, you know, it's within the EU legal limits to be considered rum. So like if you're curious. And I would also note that like if you're in Europe and you look at rums that are heavily dosed and you don't see something on the label, you might not also see the word rum on those labels because they can be tricky. If they don't put the word rum on the bottle, you can put as much rum, as much sugar as you want in there. But yeah, we keep it within the EU limits, which is 20 grams per liter. Almost all of our bottles are 750. We have a couple like OFTD, which has no dosage, but is liters only. Yeah, most of our bottles are 750. We have a couple that are 700 ml just because like we need to share them with the Europe contingent. And like it's easier to just have one piece of glass.
So I want to back up here for just
Black cask is in Texas, if someone's asking. Sorry, what were you saying?
So I want to back up here for just a moment.
Yeah.
Let's pretend that we're new to rum, okay, and we've never heard of Planteray. How would you go about explaining Planteray to somebody new to the world of rum?
Yeah, I think in the U.S. it is. I guess okay. So assuming this person is from the U.S. because in Europe there is a long history of kind of bottling rum. We are a producer and a bottler. We wear many hats. And so we have our own production of rum in Barbados and Jamaica. We also are a bottler and an appreciator of rums from around the globe. We have our relationships with producers all over the world. And if we see a really great rum and we get along with those producers, like we'll bottle someone else's rum, we'll do a secondary maturation because all of our aged rums will have aging in country of origin and then have a secondary maturation for at least 1 year in ex-cognac barrel in France, where we also make cognac. So we wear both hats. We're also a cognac producer, which is a blended spirit almost always. There are exceptions to that rule, but it's a blended spirit. And so having a master blender who comes from a cognac tradition, who can kind of fine tune his blending prowess with rum is a great accessible skill set for our bottlings. And so we wear a lot of hats. So you'll see a lot of our rums that are like 3 stars, original dark, Stiggins, you know, these rums that are like blends of multi origins and, you know, they can do all these things. We have a Navy rum, it's multiple different countries. And then we also have single origin. So it can be very confusing. But
well, one thing you mentioned there, so you guys blend a lot from all over the world, right? You've always been kind of known for that. You touched on it there. How do you guys decide which distilleries and styles you want to work with?
It really is, it's organic. I mean, Alexandre has been in the spirits industry. You know, he's a really impressive, Alexander Gabriel is the master blender. He's the CEO and sole proprietor of the entire organization. So unlike some other companies where you see a company that has, a gin, a cognac, whatever, where it's a conglomerate, where there's like brands that are partially owned by other companies, entities, and then they like join forces under like an umbrella name or something. We're just one guy. And Alexandre, he started this business back in the 80s, taking over a small cognac house. The cognac name Ferrand already existed for years and years in France, and he like met the producers and fell in love with the spirit in his 20s. He was in his early 20s. Now, I don't know what y'all were doing in your early 20s. I know what I was doing. I was bartending at a Bar Louie in Chicago in like 2000, and it wasn't, we weren't making anything impressive. We weren't doing anything great. But at that same time, Alexandre was already well into his career. But 1989, officially, the company becomes officially Ferrand. And so he had this like love of spirits and got involved in the spirit industry. He already knew kind of wine just because like he's a French man. Like French people live and breathe wine. Like they're raised on it. They know very intimately all the different regions. And so coming from Burgundy and knowing wine, it kind of seemed like a natural progression. He wanted to share cognac with the greater world. For a company at the time, the Cognac House Ferrand didn't really want to expand in the same way. And so he took over the house in the late 80s. Then being a barely 30-something-year-old was like, you know what? I don't like cognac is a season. It's the fall. And so once you harvest your small amount of crops, we're in Grand Champagne region, so we don't have like the whole of France to harvest. It's a very short season. You harvest and then you distill. Like there's not a lot of to do. And so he started making gin in the off season, had to get permission to do that. That launched in 96, Citadel, using the same stills. But we were like purchasing distillate, French wheat distillate, and then redistilling. Anyway, rum was like the last piece of the puzzle where like bottling was already a huge market in Europe because of colonial history. They already knew rum, right? There's no need to educate in France and in England and in Germany. They had access to rum all this time, and they were aging rum all this time. So unlike the US, where our history of rum was maybe like kind of more recent in the grand scheme of things, like prohibition and forward, we took a break because during our independence, we didn't have access to rum anymore. Like that was kind of the first thing to go. We were a country that was founded on rum, that like, the taxation on molasses was what got us all up in arms in the first place. But then when we were independent, we didn't have access to that molasses for free or cheap anymore. And so we started making distillates out of wheat and fruit. We started making brandies and apple brandies, etc. And so, it's a layered quandary. But I would say that like our team, because we come from this like European blending bottling history, it seemed like a very natural progression. Where we are now is like worlds away. I mean, when I started, like I said, it's been almost 10 years. I was the 10th person on the US team. Like, it seems like we'd be much bigger. It seems like we would have hundreds of employees in this country alone, but we don't. And so I take that with a lot of pride because I think that we have beautiful rum to show off, and we've built a legacy off of just like sticking true to what we do. And here we are.
And that's an understatement too. You guys have such a good variety.
Have some really amazing products out there. So let's talk about that for just a moment. Okay. So, and I do see that we do have a question out here. Anywhere in New England, are your products available in New England?
We are everywhere. We're in all 50 states now officially.
Okay.
So
just depends on what's there.
Depends on what's there. If you're in New Hampshire is a tough one because it's a control state. So it's a little bit dodgy to get product in New Hampshire, but we do have some, we have listings. We're pushing for cut and dry. We have Vermont. We're literally in all 50 states.
The Vermont is a state.
Is it?
It is sure? It is one of the 50.
I'm not so sure.
It is a state.
I don't know.
We should
John,
have. I don't know
can you help
what.
us out here?
I don't know what's listed in Vermont, but I know that we have placement in Vermont. I know that we're in all 50 states initially because I pushed for it. I really wanted to get like a Buffalo Wild Wings placement. This was like my hill to die on.
That'd be
like
amazing.
6
Yeah,
years
there you
ago.
go.
I know, right? I was like, I want Buffalo Wild Wings. I was like, beat me up. And so that we only had a couple holdouts. It was like Alaska and maybe South. Oh, hold on. Every time I touch my earbuds,
They start playing.
yeah, my music starts playing. So apologies.
No, you're all good.
But yeah, I think South Dakota, Alaska were like the last of the strongholds.
Now,
but we're in all 50 states.
So you guys talk about your blending and stuff. John Molesworth's asking, which rums are the ones that you guys actually produce there at the distillery?
So we don't produce any rum in France. The rum production is happening Barbados and Jamaica. So Barbados, any rum that we have bottled historically, almost all of it, I'm not going to name names, but almost all of the Barbados rum has been from the West Indies Rum Distillery. And now we are like owner of that distillery. So so there's that. And then Jamaica, obviously. So Jamaica, we share ownership of 2 distilleries. That includes Long Pond and Clarendon. Clarendon is kind of southern and more centrally located, a little bit west of like where Appleton is, not near like Black River. And then Long Pond is in Trelawney. It's about an hour away from Hamden. So they're like both in the Trelawney area. Those are like the historic old school producers. And then outside of that, we don't make any other rum like from distillate. Outside of that, those are rums that we double age. So the Fiji, if you see in general, legally, if you put the country of origin on a bottle of rum, it has to be from that country, meaning it has to be distilled, fermented, distilled, and aged in that country.
Okay, so I want to touch on this too. Hold on, because she brought up a good point here. So I know our time's ticking. I want to touch on this. You mentioned your double aging. Could you just give us a real quick rundown of what that process adds to the final spirit of double aging, like what that is?
Yeah. Double aging is not a process we invented. This is as old as the history of rum itself. There is a practice of necessity, like you're shipping rum from place to place. This is before bottles existed. So before bottling as a practice even existed in the 1700s and 1800s as well, you would transfer the rum in barrels. And then when it got to its next country, you would just leave it in that barrel. And people in Europe and now the US, but in the early days in Europe, they had a history of drinking aged spirits already. And so they preferred their spirits to be aged, which included rum. In the Caribbean, it's a little bit here and there. Some people preferred young. You look at Jamaica, they like funky overproof white, like unaged rums. But in Europe, they already had a process and a system for aging. So they were doing these secondary agings, tertiary aging. So it just kind of depended on the producer or who was bringing that rum back. So it could have been a wine barrel, a hogshead that had like beef in it, cognac, like literally whatever. We are a cognac house as well. So we had cognac barrels and we're like, what does this rum taste like if we age it in a French oak cask? And so that's kind of how we started. And we accidentally became a brand. We had some people that were tasting our rums, our little samples of rums that were double aged. And people were like, oh my God, that's amazing. But the default is ex-bourbon barrel because of now the fairly recent history of like bourbon being first use American oak. Like first use American oak started in the 1940s. And so that law changed the taste of rum forever because now we're using everyone's like old whiskey barrels. We didn't have that in, 1900 or 1860 or whatever. Like we were using whatever we had. So now all rum especially in the Caribbean, it's kind of like the default. We're using ex-bourbon barrel first. Some people do double aging. It's more popular now, obviously, and I can pat ourselves on the back for some of that excitement to the double aging style, but it also is just something that kind of has always been.
Love it.
Sorry.
All right. So
I
can jump in here now.
Maybe
I can jump in here.
Do you have a good question?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I
So
guess.
John asked the question, what rums are actually produced there in Barbados, right? And so I just want to do a quick question answer with Adrienne. All right. So for example, Adrienne, we've got the 5-year. Just tell me yes, that's done in Barbados.
5?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That was always Barbados.
Let's see. Black cask.
That is a blend.
Is that done in Barbados?
If it's from Barbados, it'll say Barbados. There's components of that is the only one that one, the Barbados 5 and the XO are the only ones that are just Barbados outside of vintages, which we have many. We have a lot of vintages that are just Barbados.
So
they're a little bit harder to find.
So this so this is hard to find. This right here is hard to find.
That one is also hard to find.
Barbados and Paraguay is a product of Barbados and Paraguay. So can you kind of explain that one to us? For example,
Paraguay. Yeah, Paraguay for us is a producer that we've fallen in love with. They do kind of an old school style. They're heavily influenced by the Guarani caña, which is a fermented beverage made from sugar cane, not necessarily distillate. And so the producer that we work with there, they make rum from sugarcane syrup. They call it honey, but it's not technically from bees, but technically sugarcane syrup. So it's a little bit grassier, a little more vegetal than what you would normally get from molasses. And we think that it's a beautiful rum. And I think pairing that with the Barbados rum, you have Barbados that has this more coconut and vanilla style. And then you have a nice, a little bit grassier balance of the two. Well, they also use a different oak to age.
Just so you're aware, I don't know if you've watched our top 10 or not, but this we dubbed as the best value rum of the year. This one right here.
Thanks. All right.
Yeah, so this is a very fantastic product that you've got. So
speaking of the top 10 rums, Evan had asked, can you mention a little bit about our number one rum?
This one?
Of the year.
This one?
The number one, our top 10 number one rum of the year.
Right.
If you could touch a little bit on the Navy series.
Yes, the number one sale.
This was our number one rum of the year this past year.
And so if you stop by
number one or still number two?
All the way to the bar, we do have your prize money available.
We do.
It is a whole $26. Okay.
Is it the first edition or the second edition?
So the first is the one that won last year. That was sale number one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So
we never, Navy rum as a style is a very mysterious category because a lot of producers are not that honest or open about what they want to do. It's not really dishonest. It's a lot of it is just shrouded in mystery because they don't want people to know. They don't want people to steal their recipes or just pick and prod and poke. I think there's a lot of assumption that what we take as lack of transparency on the producer side can be a way of showing too much of your hand or giving away your family recipe, right? There are producers that they have a way that they've been making something for 200 years. How dare we try to dig into what that is and tell them to do differently, honestly, because I think that is a part of it too. People make rum for themselves and for their people first, for their own cultures first. And so we're privileged when people are opening the doors to that information. For us, Navy rum was kind of an obsession that we inherited from Matt Petrick. Matt was so obsessive about learning about Navy rum, and he wanted to write this book, and Alexandre and him, they decided to write this book together. So they're doing all this research. And then Alexandre, of course, is inspired by what they uncovered, that they were doing really interesting aging techniques. And by interesting, I mean completely insane. Like the way they aged the Navy rums during the 1800s and until its end was in open vats, open giant wooden vats where you could like fit a boat on the top. And for anyone who's like aged spirits and you know that like angel share is really high, this seems like rum suicide. Like, why would you're just like giving it all away, right? Like the angels are thirsty and they'll take as much as you give them. So why would you just like leave the vat open? You know, if I leave a glass of water open for a day, like it's going to also evaporate, right? So alcohol evaporates faster than water. So like, what are we doing here? So Alexandre was like, that's wild. Like who, and he didn't believe it. He's like, but they saw multiple records that this is how it was made. And so he's like, all right, I'm going to try it. And so we started doing it, and turns out it's delicious. We lost a little over 30% of the vat in the first year, or after 2 years, almost 33%. So we lost a lot of product, but the rum was delicious. And the goal is like you're introducing oxygen intentionally because you want it to marry as fast as possible. Because in these times when we're thinking about, you know, they're bringing rums in that are not all unaged. Some of them were aged, some of them were aging separately, but by the time they're in the vat, they're pretty young and they need to marry and get like blended as fast as possible, because if it's war times, you have 6 months. You got to get that thing back on the boat. So you don't have time to let things age to perfection. You know, we're not waiting for like a magical year to like get things bottled. You know, we don't have the luxury. So without the luxury of time, this is what it is. And so we like tried it. We had just the classics, different percentages, but it was Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana. Like that is Navy rum. Those are long record keeping, especially in the like mid to late 1800s. That was like a classic blend. And so we're like, let's see what it tastes like. And it's freaking delicious.
I love it.
And then we did it again.
and we thought so too. We thought so too.
Yeah.
So yes,
it's amazing.
This was our number one top 10 pick of the year.
And luckily that's the only, so Europe didn't get any of sale number one. Just so
shucks.
You know, we always like, yeah, we always get mad that Europeans get all of our good stuff, and
USA,
USA,
we won something.
That's right.
Add it to the board. We love that. We love that so much. So we have like so many questions. I feel like we could sit here all night talking because like seriously, this is amazing, and I love this so much. So I'm gonna hit this one and a couple others I do want to share with you guys. So for those of you, if you've got questions, if they don't get in, if we don't get through everything here, if the Rum Club guys, we're going to have 2 hours set aside for the Rum Club, which Adrienne will be a part of.
Try to be concise.
A good chunk of that, right? So you will get the chance to ask those questions in
before you get started on your question. I do want to point out John Hasbrook from Just Rum, this guy right here. Okay, he is here tonight in the group, right? You know John, Adrienne, right?
Yeah.
And he does have a question out there. Where can he get some cognac barrels? And
wet
cognac barrels. And we'll. Geez, I sold the camera again. We will get that. we will get that. We'll get you all connected up and you can have those discussions later on with John. All right.
Yeah.
I do want to ask, because you guys are always doing something new. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Well, okay. Before he does go on, my goodness, I do have another question. So I'm going to break in here. How many different expressions do you have? Because hold those up, Robert.
And several of these, by the way, we're going to send out.
So yeah. So we've got we've got these here. You know, it's like
there's a lot.
You know,
I know.
And we have so many more. And this one I just picked up on my trip to Barbados. I can't wait to try this. I have not tried it yet. Right?
Yeah, we're
how many different expressions do you have?
The thing is, like, rum is a global category, and because we wear all the hats, right? Because we're a bottler, a blender, a producer, so we've bottled over 25 different single origins. But at this moment, we have bottled at least 337 different bottlings. So,
wow.
And we thought we had a lot.
Completely different.
Something
so,
we always tell
if you're one of those collectivists like Pokemon rum bottler collectors, it's going to be tough. We've got a lot. I don't have that. I'm of the belief that like if you got it, you should share it. You should enjoy it with people. But I have a couple of exceptions to that rule. I have a couple of like mainstays, like single casts from when I worked at 3 Dots and Lost Lake. But I think that rum should be shared, and they're all beautiful. They're meant to be enjoyed. Awesome. It's all about enjoying it and the pleasure and the experience. And so I think
I'm a firm believer in sharing the rum
all the way until about this much is left, and then he won't share it with anyone. So
we don't make rum for just one person. We don't make rum for just like the rum geeks, or like, oh, if you like super dry, if you're like a whiskey guy, right. Like we have those rums, but we also have rums that are like cigar friendly, a little bit sweeter, round on the palate. We also have like bangers for cocktails for all the like bartenders, and and we change and we add stuff every year. We have like new stuff every year. So
see, I think this is what's cool too. When I meet people and stuff, rum is so broad in itself. Planteray is always in the discussion of rums that they should try. I was just at an event over across the state here, and all those guys are whiskey drinkers and everything. Nobody has really drank anything outside of Bacardi and Captain. And so I come over there, and the first thing I pull was a bottle of OFTD. I put it on the table, and I was like, "This isn't your mom's rum, okay? This is going to be a little bit different." And the amount of opinions that were changed at that table in a 10-minute time period of some sampling of just the OFTD was amazing. There's something 100%. For everyone, so it's so much fun. And
we're a little bit
be included to the Rum Club.
We push to have accessibility as well. So like, that's kind of like, you can do that. If you're a boutique bottler, it's really hard to do that in controlled states because you don't have like the shoe-in, you don't have the banger that like the governmental agencies are going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like you give them something too esoteric, they're going to look the other way. You give them something too limited, they'll look the other way. But if you're like, oh, hey, look, we got like this white rum that like anyone can use and it's affordable, but also like, and then that starts to show them that like, oh, people know this brand and they start buying it. Then you can like introduce one at a time these other things. And so, we've been fortunate to be able to like build out the portfolio in places that usually don't bring in, the different stuff, in places like Iowa, Ohio, all the control states, Michigan, like every little bit helps. And we're getting, a single vintage in Virginia where it's always been a struggle. We're getting cut and dry listed in places that were like, kind of closed door for a while. So we push that. And I think that that's like the rising tide, right? Raising all ships. We're going to help other rum producers by doing this because they're going to see the government, the agencies that control these things. They're going to see the power that rum has once they have options, right? Like once you have more than just like the 2 or 3 mainstays, these other brands are going to be like, oh, okay, the door's open. We got the crack of the door open. So like, come on in, everyone can come in.
At the risk of sounding like the worst marketing pitch you've ever heard, Planteray is like the gateway rum to rum. Okay, it is, and I mean, I tell people that all the time because it's a rum that like when you don't know what rum can be, there's so much here that you can spend so much time expanding on this, and it's going to lead you to look at the rum shelves a little longer, to understand it a little more, to learn a little bit more, because you guys have such informative bottles, because you have such unique products, because from it's all over, and it's an amazing experience for people who are non-rum drinkers to get into rum. It is the gateway to rum itself, and I love that so much.
I think like we're it's the double-edged sword. It's like, well, we want to make sure that people have access, and people that like say they hate rum, it's not really fair because oftentimes they're coming from places where they didn't have access to rum. So like, do you really hate rum, or do you only have 3 options? You know, like
exactly,
exactly, 100%.
That's it right there.
100% right there.
I love that so much.
Yes.
So we talked a little bit about some of the different expression you guys are doing. So I'm going to rattle off a couple of things here, guys. Stiggin's Fancy, that pineapple rum, it's one of my favorite. The peated cask version, amazing. Okay. I love your guys' Navy series of what you're doing. I think that's a tremendous place to hang out. Somebody asked me earlier what I was pouring. The Sealander is actually what I'm pouring in my glass currently at the moment. Just tremendous stuff. With that being said, okay, are there anything right now that you guys are doing that's upcoming in the future? Any future?
Can you give us kind of a sneak peek?
Is there any secretive things that we won't tell anyone?
We won't tell anyone.
Okay. That you guys projects you guys are working on.
Your secret is safe with us.
Yeah.
You guys know, like, first of all, you guys both know that we notoriously are terrible at keeping secrets. If you've seen me at any rum festival anywhere, I'm like littered with like tiny lab bottles that I've like brought in from Barbados or Jamaica or wherever. So like, that's not unusual. I would say the next big thing for us, we're finally bottling a couple of things that we've only whispered about. So I actually am drinking one of them right now. This is the new, I had this in Barbados actually, or in Miami, but this is a part of the Legend series. So, you know, we do a line called the Extremes. The Extremes come out every couple of years, and the focus is different every time. But this time we're doing mentors of Alexandre. So there's 6 different origins, 6 different mentors. And this one, honestly, I mean, they're all really good, so it's hard to play a favorite. But this is Henderson. Henderson is an employee he just retired. He still hangs out. I don't know. Did you see him? Roger, did you see?
I'm not sure if I did.
An older gentleman who he hangs out sometimes. He's like the only guy who's allowed to walk around without a hard hat. But he's easy to spot. Yeah, he's easy to spot in a hard hat tour only, with all the other employees also wearing hard hats. You're like, who's that guy? And he's just like hanging out, just chilling. Or he'll just like join you for lunch. He's chill. But Henderson, he and his father worked at the distillery both for over 40 years. His father was there for 47 years. And so a lot of the information that we have about the distillery in general is from Henderson. And so it's like, we wanted to do an homage bottling to Barbados and to like Alexandre's relationship with the production team, and what better place to start. And so Henderson weighed in on this blend, and it's just a really beautiful thing. And it actually involves like every kind of distillation we make at that distillery. There's column still, pot still, there's like long fermentation, short fermentation. It's all the different pieces of the puzzle, and it's young, but it's like spicy and fun and funky, and I'm really into it. So that's the Legend series. The Extremes are coming hopefully this summer. But you know, we have like vintages that come every year. The Hogo Monster is already out.
Oh God, I need. You have that in Miami, right? Is that the one that was bottled at Miami? I remember trying that one. God, I want to do that one when I'm not drinking a bunch of other stuff.
I know it's a kick in the teeth for sure. It's a very high octane experience, but that one is out. It's a great modifier for cocktails and really fun experience, and a teachable moment, I think, for like when we're talking about blends. You know, a lot of what we get in bottles for any rum producer is a blend of a bunch of different things. So it's cool to have that, but that is officially available. We're going to do a Vulcan release. We're going to do like a sugarcane juice distillate release from Barbados. So for us, really, it's a lot of like showing off, really just flexing on Barbados. I think people assume that Barbados is the gateway, for lack of a better term. But I think people are like, oh, you don't like rum? Here's Barbados rum. And I think it's reductive, because Barbados, all the producers, not just us, everyone is doing really cool stuff. And it's just that what we end up bottling for people ends up being very accessible. We want it to be intentionally accessible because that's the preferred style, is this balance. Yeah. And so people don't realize that, like, in order to get something that is very accessible and balanced, you have to have all of these moving parts. You can't just make sharp edges. You have to be able to like make something to counteract that. So, you know, none of these producers are just making one thing. We think of like our Jamaican rum cohorts, right? Like Jamaica is not just funky, overproof banana flavored rum. It's like they make crazy stuff, but they can also make really beautiful, balanced things. And they can also, they know how to blend. And so it has to be a little bit of both. But yeah.
I love it so much. I hate that the clock is ticking here, and then
I'm sorry.
No, you're amazing. Don't even apologize. I love it. Yes. I love it so much. I know everybody here appreciates it a ton. For those of you who haven't gotten the chance to have the privilege of meeting Adrienne, this is just a bite-sized snippet of the experience. She's taught classes at these events, at these seminars.
Read all the questions. There's so many questions.
There's so many. Here's the deal. For you Rum Club members that are asking, you'll get a second chance to ask these. So it's all going to be good. There's still spots open if you guys want to jump in there for that. We haven't sent stuff out yet, so you can still jump in.
That time is closing.
Let's keep a log. Let's keep a log so that we know what the questions are, so we can like start.
Yeah, pour that over, and we'll just keep it going. And we'll keep this party rolling when we get the chance to do this. You guys want a sneak peek at what you guys are getting in the Rum Club? We're sending out. We quick opened the box. So I'm going off memory, but we have the Navy Sail #2 is in there. We have is it Belize 2008? Is that what it is?
2008, yes.
Is in there.
3-star.
3-star. The original dark are both in there. Fiji, Isle of Fiji is in there. The XO is in there.
The XO is in there.
Yes, the XO is in there. Jamaica's in there.
I believe is in there.
Do we hit it? I'm trying to think.
No, and
the new Sealander. I can't remember.
Sealander in there?
Let me go look.
Okay.
Let me go look.
We gotta double check. We literally. So I picked this box up, or these 2 boxes today. By the way, I was so surprised I got there, and he was wheeling it out on a cart. I was like, holy crap! I was like, oh my gosh. So thank you very much. This is very generous. So I'm super excited. But
Robert, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to just do like a boring tasting of like what you can get in Iowa. That's
exactly. Nobody wants to just taste what we can get here in Iowa. That's a terrible tasting. Okay, that's literally the basic and the beginning of everything.
Okay, I'm gonna run through the whole rundown.
Okay, go for it.
Let me know. Can people on?
Everyone can hear you.
We can hear you.
Your microphone works from over there too. It's weird.
OFTD. XO. Isle of Fiji. Jamaica.
Yep.
Belize 2008.
Nice.
Sail #2. One moment. But wait, there's more.
New Navy rum. Oh yeah, Cut and Dry. Is Cut and Dry in there?
Cut and Dry is in there. Yes.
The original dark.
I thought I put it in there.
The 3 stars. And last but not least, Cut and Dry.
Love it. We love it. It's such a good lineup. It's going to be so much fun. So I'm super excited about that. Like seriously, super generous. I think this is going to be great for everyone. Even if you've had Planteray, there's definitely going to be some in here you haven't tried, because there's one in here we haven't tried.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited about that. We have not had the Belize 2008, and so we are so excited to get to try a new one ourselves. And we're going to wait for the Rum Club to do it. So I'm excited.
Before Adrienne goes, I do want to show her, because this is her first time at our bar.
It's true.
And again, Adrienne, you guys did win the top 10 of 2025. So we do have a whole $26 here for you if you find yourself in Iowa sometime. Please stop by.
Yeah.
All right.
Buy me a drink in the Waterloo.
That's cash. So up here.
Cash.
Yeah, up here. Hang on. Let me grab me. So how do I grab the camera?
You're doing so great.
How do I grab the camera?
You grab it by accident all the time. Track me.
Do what?
Track me.
Track me. Track me.
I don't know.
Track me.
It never wants to listen.
There we go.
Oh.
This corner up here that does not have any bottles up there, that is the Planteray spot. Those are all filled with Planteray bottles, but we have them down here to show everybody else. So yes, that is your spot right there. Okay, that entire spot right there. So anyhow, just wanted to share that with you since it's your first time here.
Yeah,
super
it's pretty
cool.
We have to keep a pretty solid open spot for everything because you guys have such good stuff. We have to make sure that we got a pretty good opening for it because we're always interchanging bottles out of that corner because we drink them and they don't stay. So we have to keep them rotating out. But I love Amy's saying I got 11 different bottles. I saw someone earlier say they had 6. Like everyone's like, it's like, like you can't just buy one bottle of Planteray. Like, do you guys still get much grief over the name change? Like are people still giving you grief?
Here and there. I mean, I think the name change has been difficult for some people because it's, I guess I didn't understand how intrinsically like married to brands that we are just as a society, and especially like my generation. I think it's funny, like we'll see people wearing like t-shirts of brands of products that we like, not just like Nike, obviously, or like sports teams, but just like things we like. You see people wearing like Diet Pepsi shirts and you're like, why do you like Diet Coke, Diet sodas, or whatever? Like people get married to their brands. And I think people took it to heart. Like they felt like they were doing something bad by celebrating the brand because we changed the name. And I'm like, that's not what we're trying to do. The goal here is that like our brand has evolved. Our company has evolved. We've, grown a lot. And when we started this brand, we were a small company and we didn't have a marketing team. We didn't have a global presence. So it was very easy to be like, oh, we'll make up this name and it'll just be like, our tiny little rum brand in Europe. And then that didn't happen. It like blew up and then we were everywhere very quickly. And so the more people we met, it started coming from our own friends, like our friends, our brand partners, people that really liked using our rum were like, it's getting harder to use this brand because the name is uncomfortable for some people. And we're like, oh, okay, well, we can change it. Like we don't know how. We've never done that before. And there's not really a roadmap for it, but like we can figure it out because at the end of the day, like if it's making people uncomfortable, then it has to stop. Like it's not worth it, because the connotations being what they are, even if it only affected one person, it's like, that's not the goal. The goal is to show off beautiful rum. We thought that like, well, sugar, we want to remind people that sugar is from a source, that is from plant, that is from the ground, and that it is a agricultural product first, just like anything else, just like wine and, any other spirit comes from an agricultural source. And so we wanted to be true to that. And so like, that's where the name came from in the first place. We didn't, Alexandre being from France and not really having the same name association in the French language that we did here, it made sense that he would not see this side of it until it was like this far in the game. So finally, when people started saying like, hey, we got to like talk about this. And Alexandre had a meeting with a woman a journalist in like 2017. And that was the first time anyone had ever actually asked him about it. And, it seems crazy because like 1999, the brand launches and whatever, but all those years later, it wasn't really until then that people were like, yeah, we don't really love this name. Like, why did you choose it? And he was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I never really thought about it in that way. I never thought about it from that perspective. And if it is that harmful, like, you're right, we should change it. You're right. And so we did. We had to invent a word. I think the word still includes the pieces of the origin that are important to us, that it entails like an agricultural product. But without the connotation of like enforcing labor, which was never a part of the story for us.
I love it so much because I think you guys, like you nailed it. Like you guys are evolving all the time. It's always changing. The future's coming. And the thing is that we don't want people getting distracted by a name on a bottle rather than focusing on what's in that bottle and what it's all about. And so I think that's amazing. I love that. I think people are finally starting to get over that hiccup of that name change. They're just starting to settle back into like, hey, we're still making this like amazing, great new products you guys love. And I love that so much for you guys. We are going to start wrapping up here. Adrienne, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
We could seriously let you go for hours. I'm not kidding. The Rum Club members, like it's going to be amazing this month. If you're not in the Rum Club, links down below. If you want to click that link and you don't want to go in and do the full Rum Club, if you're in like Mark G in Canada and you want to still participate, make sure you guys check out the Rumless Rum Club. You can still come. It's the price of a Starbucks cup of coffee, guys, and you get to come hang out and still learn and talk.
Canada can't come.
What was that? Canadian members can still come. They just have to be in the Rumless Rum Club. And we
gotcha.
Netherlands.
Yeah, we got the Netherlands. We got Steven from up there. So like we've got people from all over the world that still join in and come hang out with us. Come be with us, guys. It's going to be so much fun.
It'll be so much fun.
We love this so much.
More.
I think it's really
great.
great.
A little bit more one-on-one because that's the way the Rum
much tighter knit group there. So Adrienne, we're going to let you go though. We're going to let you get back to life. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.
You're the absolute best. You're the MVP.
We appreciate you.
Thanks,
appreciate you. We'll see ya.
Enjoy the night.
You too.
Night.
Bye.
Oh man, just an absolute treat. It always is. It's going to be so much fun. I haven't said it enough, guys. You got to be in the Rum Club. You got to come. The Rumless Rum Club. It's worth it. We're still going to try and get you rum even in the Rumless Rum Club. And here's the thing, like Adrienne is just got so much knowledge. Dave the Axeman said we got to make Rum Club 3 hours. It's crazy. No matter how much time we put on that clock, it just continues to go because the conversations are so good, the connections, the people.
Technically,
it's amazing.
We started out at 1 hour.
Yes.
I don't think we ever had a Rum Club except for maybe the very first one that was actually 1 hour.
Yes, I know it. Yeah, Mark, Canada there. Great time, guys. Uncorked. Rum Uncorked, right? So it's so fun to get a deeper dive into some of these rum companies that we see on the shelves and hear it from their perspective from behind, and see things from their angle. What a cool experience that is, right? Like we're out here drinking it, we're trying it, but to truly get to understand from the people who are at their hands on it, who are there. What a cool experience. So we are so grateful to these distillers for spending the time with us to do that. It means the world to us. And so we're so excited to get to do this with Adrienne and Rum Club here at the end of the month. Amazing. Check out those links. It's running late. We're in overtime galore. I know I got to get out of here. I definitely do. But we love you guys. Thank you so much for making this the best rum community in the world. Your guys' engagement, you're sharing, you're participating. Literally, we wouldn't be here without you guys, and we're so grateful.
I do want to apologize. I apologize to everyone that we did not get your questions answered or presented.
I know there were some.
There were some there out there. And I apologize. Sincerely, I apologize for not getting those addressed for you.
I feel like we're fighting the clock every time, you know? So
there's so much that
just so you know, my questions, I got through like 7 of my I have like 20 questions in here, and I didn't even get close. So it's one of those things that's like it's so tough. Because obviously, like, there's so much information. But that's what's fun about this journey, guys. And this is the part of the stuff that we love to share. Is these are some of the experiences we've gotten at rum festivals and in seminars that we're providing you a snippet seminar right here for you guys to get that chance to have that experience too, from right there. So this is cool, man. I'm so glad you guys came and you hung out. Just a tremendous support, just a tremendous group of people. To everybody watching the playback afterwards, thanks for coming and watching and spending the time doing it. Seriously, we wouldn't be here without you guys. We love you guys so much, and we're so grateful for that. You guys allow us to come and be a couple of idiots on camera for you guys every single week and get to do this with you. So big shout out to you guys and being the real community here and the reason that we get to do this. And a big shout out to Adrienne for actually knowing what she's talking about. And it's just not us babbling on. So we're so grateful for that. I'm going to wrap it up, though. You have anything you want to jump in here?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything.
Perfect. Hit that Rum Club button. Get in the Rumless Rum Club. I don't care if you're from the U.S. or not. Just get into this group. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we love you. With that being said, Royer, let's get these fine people home safe.
Always drink responsibly. Never drink and drive, and no rums were harmed during the making of this video.
Not at all. We'll see you next time, guys.
Take care.